very much, Iman. Mr. Minister, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this year's Standard Bank Climate Summit. I stand here on behalf of all of us at Standard Bank, and in particular on behalf of Kenny Fihla. When I arrived this morning, Kenny was rushing out of the building. He has to attend to a serious family emergency. I'm sure he would love to have been here with us, and I'm sure he will be in our thoughts and prayers. We know how busy you all are, so thank you for choosing to spend the time with us. It's wonderful to see a room this full, and welcome to everybody who is online. Iman, it's not a joke, but I Googled a website about Johannesburg weather, and they go on and on about the warmest time and the best time to visit Johannesburg and South Africa from September onwards. I do think that they need to consult you and change that data. And if anybody had any doubts about climate change, come to Johannesburg in October. I'd like to submit 3 propositions for you as part of the welcome and the framing of today's set of conversations. And the first one is that we at Standard Bank are absolutely convinced and certain and committed to the just transition. We'll continue to make major contributions to both Africa's economic and human development and to Africa's just transition to a sustainable, low-carbon economy. We see no contradiction between these two, and to the contrary, we think that they are inextricably linked. There will be no sustainable energy transition unless it is socially just. Our communities just will not allow it. What we do see, therefore, is the need for a series of choices and trade-offs. Each of these will need to be carefully planned, sequenced, and costed. The second proposition is that nobody has a monopoly on the truth when it comes to mitigating and managing climate change. Equally certainly, nobody has a monopoly on the valid perspectives on this complex set of issues. One has to have humility as you approach this complex issue. For Africa to achieve the best attainable outcomes, it is very important that a wide variety and diversity of voices is heard. All of these voices should influence the pace and direction which we take. This is one of the main reasons why we hold the summit, and why our doors are always open for conversation and learning. We get close to the truth and to the best attainable outcomes through the process of dialectic. The minister is nodding because he's not just a Hegelian, but I think he may have given up on Marx early in his career. Not coincidentally, Standard Bank is also completely supportive of peaceful and lawful protest that doesn't impinge on the rights of anybody else. Third and last, I want to make the case for thinking about climate change with a can-do and positive and rational approach to the facts. Let me immediately add that we at Standard Bank fully understand the seriousness of the climate risks, as Iman alluded to earlier. We are very much aware of the terrible human tragedies and the immense economic damage that are being caused by anthropogenic climate change. For instance, we've seen severe floods in 10 countries just this month. For instance, the worst of these have been in Libya, which, according to the United Nations, saw the death of 10,000 people. An unimaginable tragedy, and one that underlies how crucial it is to invest in maintenance and in new infrastructure that enables adaptation and increases resilience. We at Standard Bank emphatically do not make light of these challenges, but we do recognize that battles of all sorts are lost by those who succumb to despair, to paralysis, or worst of all, to wild risk-taking. Conversely, the people who do best in crises of all sorts, whether they be natural disasters or even high-stakes sports events, are those who stay optimistic and rational, who remain open to new information and to learning, and to plan systematically. Along the way, as we address climate change, there will be massive opportunities, and I'd like just to mention 4 as I close. The first is that the transition heavily depends on critical minerals to be found in the Central African Copper Belt, and throughout the continent, and indeed here in South Africa, amongst others, manganese. It strongly advantages the regions that best provide for solar radiation, and this is most of our continent. And it is possible to imagine a future in which Africa is transformed by the cheap and reliable electricity for domestic use and for transport. And so there are huge opportunities to be seized. We have many challenges, ladies and gentlemen, and many hard choices to make. But let's not lose sight of the immense opportunities that will arise as we achieve this just transition. Thank you very much, Iman.